Crash outs everywhere because Jon Moxley is frustrated with AEW Backstage. Moxley did an interview this week with the New York Post where he just went off a little bit about a backstage incident that took place that he wants to completely shift the company away from. Brian, if you can pull it up, we can all take a look at what Moxley had to say. Quote, there will be a lot of stuff that won't be a part of this AEW. For example, earlier in the year, I was having a conversation or was around a conversation earlier in the year. I heard backstage a backstage type person talking about interviews or pre-tapes or something. It was a situation where talents were not put in a position to succeed due to lack of preparation, framework, direction, and things like that. This individual said, quote, well, it's the bottom of the card. It doesn't matter. Can you imagine that? You're effing fired. Go work at Sunglass Hut. You should be effing pistol whipped for saying that. For one, everybody that is on the top of the card was once at a time on the bottom of the card. That's how it works. You climb the ladder. You see this frustration or confusion from some of the talent because there's no effing ladder. They don't know what to do. They are just wandering in the desert. We're going to grab them and we're going to walk them. So it seems like there was some sort of backstage personnel basically when wrestlers were put into bad positions where they weren't given whatever tools they needed, that there was a backstage personnel that basically said, it's the bottom of the card. It's Rampage. It's Collision. Ain't nobody care about that.
Forget about it.
Moxley wants to get completely away from that. Kenny Baum, what do you think of Moxley's comments here? Are they fair? Is he crashing out? What's going on?
So he definitely crashed out, but I think he's at a good point. He has a reason to crash out. For one, when did Jon Moxley start talking to people? He had an interview? What's that? But yeah, I mean, think about it. It's like you working on your YouTube channel, right? Let's say you have an editor and he's not putting the work into that video. He's like, man, this is just a throwaway video. Like, it's not a big project. Like, bro, this is like my brand. Like, this is what I'm presenting to the people. No matter where it is on the card, this is what you're putting on AEW TV. And as we know, they want to hold those ratings whenever people are watching. And with people having that mindset, I think that's like a poison to the company. And that's probably how they kind of took the dip they took after they had that hot heat streak in the beginning. So I agree with them. And you know what? This kind of makes me feel like what he's doing on TV right now, saying we're getting away from that AEW, we're changing what AEW is. It's kind of how he really feels. So it's like, I think this might be actually a storyline of him trying to take control of the way people view AEW and how people view their positions in the company. I like it. You know what? I think Jon Moxley needs to do more interviews like this because it's raw, it's real, and they need somebody standing up for AEW in this way. So I like it, Big Home. Crash out more.
Wrestling is at its best when you blur the lines of fiction and reality. Brian, give us your real take about this.
Dean Ambrose was better.
Oh boy.
All right, video's over. Hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell. I don't know what I'm
saying, bro. Another thing, bro.
I don't know.
It's like you coming in here, right? And you bring in this whatever heat you had backstage. I feel like that should be kept between company lines, bro. That's part of the problem that a lot of people have with AEW. We hear a lot about this drama and it's this and it's that behind the scenes. We don't want to hear about none of this, bro. We just here for the wrestling. You feel what I'm saying? But yeah, I know Kenny does because Kenny love that. Kenny love that drama over there, bro. But me personally, bro, it's like one of those things where it's like some things are just better off not said. And that's simply because of the fact, bro, that not everybody needs to know the business behind what's going on when it comes to, the business. And I'm talking about AEW in this perspective because I feel like every time that something little happens in AEW, we always hear about it. And I feel like that's something that should be kept on the wraps better. That's just my 2 cents, though.
I mean, I get what you're saying, but at the same time, I mean, I think this actually did more to, number one, I think, kind of help the perception of AEW a little bit in that there are people who are trying to actively like change some of the things that went wrong there. Because one of the biggest critiques we've heard about AEW outside of the backstage stuff has been like, a lot of times younger talent, especially who have not had a lot of TV time, who have not been exposed on WWE or TNA or wherever, one of the things they struggle with is like, finding that comfort level on TV. And Tony Khan has been less and less directly involved with talent because of just the way that things are just so busy and chaotic. It used to be a case where if you're at AEW show in 2019, 2020, 2021, you go right into Tony Khan's office and he'll talk to you. You guys can work things out, whatever. Now it's like you got to go through different things, and that's part of setting up a system. But one of the pitfalls and the growing pains of that is there's going to be a lot of cracks in the meantimes when you're trying to work those kinks out. I think what he did here was actually like good because it advanced the story that they're telling. It fit into that. And like a lot of people are like, was he working? Was he like real? What's going on? And I think that's the beauty of it, right? And I don't think it harmed AEW. There's been a lot of backstage stuff that's harmed AEW. CM Punk and all those crash outs harmed the hell out of their reputation. You have the Eddie Kingston stuff with Sammy Guevara. All that stuff was harmful. I think this actually was like probably a good leak, quote unquote, if you want to say that. But I think it gets into the other question of like, what does AEW need to be? Does it need to be the place where, you have as much creative freedom as you want and you can do it and you can do like, you hit the bullet points, but like you just go out there and you say whatever you want? Or does it need more direction? My answer is it's a little bit in the middle, but Kenny, I'm interested to hear you. What do you think AEW should do?
I agree. I think it needs to be more in the middle. Like, I don't think you need to go out there just flying off the rails because, we've seen it happen with Hangman Adam Page, which I liked it. I love the fact that he got in CM Punk's face. He called him out for a real-life situation. We've seen it out with Jack Perry. He goes to the thing, real glass, cry me a river, turned him into a superstar. We see it quite a bit. But as far as what Brian says, you know what? I can see what you're saying, Brian, the fact that the drama and everything gets to the front end, it shouldn't. But I don't think it necessarily hurts the company. Like Big Om, you said Sammy Guevara and Eddie Kingston. I don't think that stuff hurts the company either because these are grown men in the locker room, a lot of testosterone going around. I'm sure a lot of them might be shooting up some of that stuff. So there's going to be some attitudes. There's going to be some aggression. Men are going to fight. Shake hands and get over it. Look at Booker T and who was it? Goldberg?
Batista.
Booker T and Batista. Chris Jericho and Goldberg.
Chris Jericho. That was a lot more. Chris Jericho bullied Goldberg. That was really funny.
Yeah. Yep. Chris Jericho, Goldberg. Chris Jericho, Brock Lesnar. There's a lot of this stuff. Randy Orton pooping in people's bags. There's a lot of stuff that goes on in both companies. It's just crazy stuff, man. So should it get out? No, but these guys talk. It's going to happen. So I don't think that falls on the company. It's just life, really.
I'll just say this, man. I will say for as much as we want to criticize AEW, they're a lot farther along in year 5, 6 than WWE was in like year 40 because that's
because WWE paved the road so they can run.
Pooping in bags is
Brock
crazy,
Lesnar
guys.
opening up his towel to Terry Runnels.
That was
bro. WWE was a madhouse.
That is just disgusting, man. WWE is crazy.
All right, man. Let's go on ahead.
But what do y'all think about it?
Let us know in the comment section, though. Was Jon Moxley correct to crash out? Was he wrong? Is it in the middle? Do you guys want to hear him crash out again? And who do you want to hear him crash out against? Let us know in the comment section. Be sure to leave a thumbs up, subscribe, and kiss that ring.